Tomás Garza. And as always today, I hope that you're having a wonderful day or evening wherever you are. And we have had people joining us from all over the world, literally from Asia, from Europe, and here in North America. So thank you all for tuning in. And thank you for watching not just this show, but all of the shows here on Enlightened World Network. It's a pleasure to have you along. This show, if you're just catching the replay for the first time, or if you're just joining live for the first time, is dedicated to the spiritual text, A Course in Miracles, which you may have great familiarity with, and you may not know much about it at all. So whether you are working with this particular thought system, with this particular text workbook for students or not, everything that we talk about here on the live stream is directly applicable to any form of spiritual practice that you may have. We're talking about ideas that are universal, spirituality being just that, universal. And what we'll do here is we're going through every day a very famous or infamous, if you prefer, thing called the Workbook for Students of A Course in Miracles, which is a set of 365 daily ideas. And the thought here is that you read about the idea and the commentary and practice it. It's practical. One of the things that really has been tremendous for me in my own spiritual practice is the fact that A Course in Miracles is a self-study curriculum. It's literally a self-study course by design where people pick it up and go at their own pace. So I certainly encourage you to do that. What is your own pace? Well, I don't know. Some people race right into it, and some people just kind of bring it out from time to time. But whatever your particular practice looks like, there is literally something here for everyone, no matter what your spiritual background is, no matter what your current spiritual practice is. This thought system, and A Course in Miracles is that, a thought system, can really deeply help shed light on your current practice. It can enhance it, and it can contribute to quantum leaps, actually, in your own world, in your own practical understanding. That's what it's all about. So that is the general backdrop. Whether you own the workbook for students or not does not matter. In fact, I'm happy that you are here. And always on this live stream, there is room for questions and comments. So feel welcome to type them into the comment thread. And I do check, if you're watching on the replay, I do check the comments several times during the day. So if you have a particular question or a comment that you'd like me to take a look at, know that I will do that. I will see that, and I do respond to as many of those as I possibly can. So I aim for this to be very interactive. This is a community, and spirituality is shared. It's all about community. It feels, doesn't it, like we're having individual experiences all of the time, and we're each meditating as it appears. If we're in a meditation practice, we're seeming like we do it alone, but in reality, everything is shared, and the aim here is to create some form of community that people can bounce ideas off each other, that we can uplift each other, and just to share our experience, which is precisely why I'm doing this, to show up and teach and share my experience with you. So let's look at the idea for today. Lesson 42, God is my strength, vision is his gift. As the workbook points out, these are a couple of very, very profound ideas. And in practicing this, what we're doing is we're setting the stage for this idea and the other ideas in the workbook to permeate our minds. If you prefer to think of it as washing away all of the old junk, all of the old programs that no longer serve you, that's perfectly fine. What we're doing with the workbook is we're reorienting our minds. We're perceiving differently. That is the goal of the workbook, is to see things differently. And you may or may not have grown up in a tradition that emphasized an idea like this, that God is your strength. He's our strength. He's my strength, your neighbor's strength. And vision is his gift. Yeah. So it's a very, very powerful. And what the workbook says that I don't have much to elaborate on is this idea sets forth a cause and effect relationship that means that you ultimately will, as it puts it, reach the goal of this course. Now, ultimately, our destiny is to wake up. People can call it enlightenment in different traditions, spiritual awakening, the experiential, well, the experience of who we really are, experiencing and coming to know and be one with, in other words, awakening to the fact that we're one with our own essence. This is where we're all headed. And the fact that you're watching this means you're headed there too. So congratulations on that. Yeah, and it may seem like a bumpy ride, and it may seem circular at times, possibly even rocky. And that is, if that is the way that you're experiencing your own walk, your own journey, that is a good thing, because that means the ego is threatened. That's what we want, right? The ego, the sense of a separate, independently existing self that runs around competing with the rest of the world for scarce resources, apparently finite resources. That is what we identify with. If that is on the run and scared, that is good. That means keep practicing whatever your spiritual practice is. If it's prayer, keep praying. If it's doing this workbook, keep doing this workbook. If it's meditation, by all means, keep meditating. Keep working on whatever is helping you peel away all of these layers of conditioning that we've accumulated from beginningless time. It doesn't matter when. They're just like a veil covering who we really are. And it's up to us, moment to moment, to decide to lift that veil. And this idea helps set in effect a cause and effect relationship that will lead, in the end, when, in terms of linear time, we don't know. It could be in 15 minutes, or it could be in 15 lifetimes. We don't know, but it will lead to our own awakening. It's where each of us is headed. And these realizations are possible each and every moment. God is limitless. Another way of looking at that is love is limitless. Now think about what that is in today's day and age. We sing songs about love. People write books about love, and they may mean just romantic love between two people, or they may mean the actual love itself, which is abstract and is not limited. It's not limited to just two people. It is completely unlimited. And that is what we're awakening to. This awakening is available to us in the present moment at all times. What we do in the present moment is actually quite simple when we talk about it, and that is choose love instead of fear. We can all recognize what a fear-based thought is. If it's something that makes us, well, frustrated, depressed, angry, sad, sorrowful, grief-stricken, If we feel like we're lacking, like we're less than or unworthy, those are fear-based thoughts. If, on the other hand, we are spontaneously laughing, we feel light, we feel joyful, helpful, happy, compassionate, those are all the result of our choosing love. We have at the present moment only, right now, to decide which we choose. That is the simplicity of spirituality right there. Choose love or choose fear. Now, of course, we complicate things, don't we, in the world? We interpose all kinds of obstacles to the experience of love. We get busy in our social media feed. We distract ourselves. We may watch TV. We may watch a movie. We may spend hours and hours and hours on YouTube. Now, if you happen to spend hours and hours on something that helps you to choose love, then that might be better than just watching movies, but maybe not, right? We distract ourselves in so many ways that a workbook exercise is like a meditation where we simply bring our awareness back to the day's idea. And if that is all that you do, is repeat this silently or out loud as you can to yourself, even once has tremendous benefit. This is one of the beauties of spiritual practice in general. It's amazing. In fact, it's tremendous, is that nothing is ever lost. Nothing is ever wasted. Even the slightest second or 2 seconds of practice or remembering is of tremendous value and tremendous benefit. So I always just recommend that you have compassion and kindness for yourself and give yourself some grace, because anytime you remember to bring your attention back, if you have a devotional or a prayer or a mantra, something you do, a practice, a one breath meditation, a 5-minute meditation, remembering these days' ideas, whatever that is every time that you bring your awareness back to that, it has value, tremendous value for you and tremendous value for the entire world, because everything that we do has a ripple effect, doesn't it? We don't even have to think too hard about that. If we send out love, we get back love, and people feel better in our presence. If we send out hatred, we'll get back hatred, won't we? We all know that from messing up in our own lives, and people don't feel good in our presence. At best, they will want to avoid us, and at worst, they may return the hatred that we gave them and then some. So none of this really requires a lot of research. And it doesn't require an advanced degree. It doesn't even require that you believe the day's ideas. This is one of the things that I love about A Course in Miracles. And the workbook in particular says, just practice the day's idea. It does not matter if you doubt it. In fact, you might experience extraordinary resistance. That is your ego, your sense of a separate self resisting the truth. And it's to be expected. So some days that may be quite a lot of resistance. Other days, relatively little, maybe none. Whatever is happening for you, whatever you're bringing to the table on a given day, the workbook simply asks that you remember the day's idea when you can and practice it. And this one is extremely profound. So let's see who's joining in here on the live stream today. There are always plenty of people joining in here. Let's just see. And we'll see if it's coming up for me here. Here we are. All right. So, Robert, hello and good evening. Yes, Robert's joining us from Romania. And we've had people from London, from Pakistan lately, from North America. So, thank you all for tuning in here. If you have particular questions or comments, feel welcome to type them in. I will get to as many of them as I'm able to do live here on the live stream. And if you think of something later after I've ended the live, that's all right too. This is a short live, and if you're just tuning in for the first time, it's daily here on Enlightened World Network, usually about 15 to 20 minutes. And if you're curious about the exact day and time, well, it's daily, but there's not an exact show time. So what I would have everyone do is take a look at the show guide. That's always the first pinned post here on the Facebook page, Enlightened World Network. That will show all of the day's programming. And you'll find that this show, A Course in Miracles 365, bounces around in terms of time a little bit. So whenever you catch this, even if it's on the replay, thank you all for tuning in. And I hope that you're finding something of tremendous value in this. This is, again, universal spirituality. So everything that we talk about here on the live stream has everything to do with everybody's spiritual practice, wherever you find yourself in the world. Quick thing before we wrap up here, I just want to call your attention one more time to Monday's show. And you can find this on the YouTube channel for Enlightened World Network. This and all of the shows on the network have an archived playlist. 2 days ago, Marbeth Dunn joined me here on the program, and I want to call attention to that show again. She has had tremendous personal transformation as a result of A Course in Miracles, being a student and now a facilitator worldwide of the course. And she joined me a couple of days ago to talk about the transformation that this has affected in her life and the impact that it's had on her. So fabulous, fabulous program. Marbeth Dunn is her name, from 2 days ago, the 15th of March. Then it was this Monday here in North America. And she is a tremendous energy. So I want to invite you to tune into that if you haven't caught that episode. That's if you're looking for back episodes to tune into, that would be one, most definitely. All right. So I will see you all back here again live tomorrow. And thank you all for joining me. This has been A Course in Miracles 365.